and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm Kaylee Farrell, certified holistic nutrition practitioner, sport nutrition consultant, and health and wellness educator. Today we are going to talk about organic versus non-organic. So a lot of my clients and a lot of you ask me, is it worth it to invest in organic products, and why the heck should you buy them? First of all, what does it mean for a product to be organic? So in the US, what it means is that 90% of the ingredients or 90% of the things that were done to the meat or the animal that it came from actually were organic. So it was fed organic grain, it didn't have antibiotics, it wasn't sprayed with commercial pesticides. So 90% is pretty efficient, pretty effective. However, being a Canadian, we don't have those same standards. We don't have the same USDA stamp that goes on our products. So what Canada has actually done is Canada has adopted America's policy on what it is and what it means to be organic. And we now use USDA labeling in Canada as acceptable and saying that Canada agrees that this is an organic product. We talked about 90% of the product having to come from an organic source, meaning that it wasn't, chemicals weren't used, antibiotics weren't used, it was humanely raised, environmentally friendly. All those things have to happen. However, in a packaged product, it's a little bit different. So packaging can say that it's made with organic.
Pause.
Okay, so packaged products are a little bit different. So you can use organic ingredients in a product, and what that means is that 75% of the ingredients used in that organic product actually have to be sourced organically. However, the other 25% can come from anywhere. So not all packaging tells you 100% truth with regards to, is this 100% organic? The next problem with organic, in my mind, is that most commercially raised animals and animals that are used for their products, it's really hard because they're in close quarters to not use antibiotics. So even here in Canada, we do dose animals with antibiotics before slaughter to make sure that they're safe to eat. We do stop that antibiotic dosing prior to being consumed. However, the research shows that it still is within the animal, so we're always ingesting a low-grade antibiotic. So for a farmer to say that he uses or produces 100% organic produce or meat is really, really difficult. The produce side of things, what happens is I have this beautiful organic field and I don't use any pesticides. I use all natural means of controlling pests. However, the farmer next to me sprays like crazy. Well, what happens on a windy day? All those pesticides that your neighboring farmer is spraying go into your field, onto your produce, and yes, you are certified 100% organic, but there is still pesticides in the air, there's still pesticide residue in the soil. So sometimes it is really hard to truly get an organic product. However, I do feel like it is really important to purchase some products. You'll find linked below a list of foods that are the Dirty Dozen. So the Dirty Dozen foods are scientifically proven to have more pesticide residue than any other produce on planet Earth. So those dozen foods which are topped right now, the list is strawberries. So those foods need to be purchased organic in my mind if you're going to be eating a lot of them. Strawberries, spinach, nectarines, tomatoes, grapes, there's a few on the Dirty Dozen list. So it is important, especially for children, pregnant ladies, anyone who's immunocompromised, that those chemicals they do spray the food with do have lasting long-term effects on many of our body systems. So for those groups of people, those foods that are on the Dirty Dozen list that is linked below, I would definitely encourage you to buy organic. It is worth your while to buy those foods organic. However, there is a subsequent list called the Clean 15, which is also linked down below. The Clean 15 are foods that you really don't ever have to buy organic, thankfully, because it does cost a little bit more. It saves you a bit of money. Those Clean 15 foods have scientifically been proven to have the least amount of pesticide and pesticide residue present on the produce. Those foods include corn, avocados, cantaloupe, melons, papaya, asparagus, mangoes, pineapple. So any of those foods, it would not be worth your while to invest that extra money to get organic, because we know that the pesticide residue is just not the same as the Dirty Dozen. We know that we have a Dirty Dozen and a Clean 15 for produce, but it's not quite as simple when it comes to meat and animal products like eggs and dairy, especially in Canada. If we've adopted that USDA label and it is on the product, then yes, we can certify that it is 100% organic. However, if you go to the grocery store and you find meats or meat products that do not have a label on them, however, they say natural, organic, some organic ingredients, fed organic grain, grass-fed, organic grain-fed, any of those things, it doesn't actually mean that they're organic at all. So unless you have a relationship with the farmer and you speak directly and buy directly from that farmer and you are aware of their ethical practices, I don't know that I would spend the extra money on an organic product that comes animal-based, because you don't always know where it's coming from, and there is a lot of marketing around organic. So my recommendation is that you find a farm in your local area that you know has organic, ethical practices, and you buy from that farmer, as opposed to going to big grocery stores and hoping that that natural label or that it says grass-fed actually means that there wasn't chemicals introduced to this animal or this animal's diet. Lastly, organic is really expensive. There is a 50% margin increase for organic foods, which means that not a lot of families can afford it. So what I recommend is that the produce that you buy, you stick to the Clean 15, because you know that you're not going to get that same pesticide residue. There isn't the same health risk with consuming those products. Purchasing eggs from a local farmer generally are comparable to that what you'd find at a grocery store, and using products that actually have high protein like lentils, beans, and legumes instead of meat products can actually really reduce the amount of cost you have for your protein sources. So using more vegetarian proteins and vegan proteins, not that I'm a proponent for vegetarian or veganism, however, it is a way that you can stay on your budget and still have safe food to consume for you and your family. Another thing that you can do is, if you can't afford organic, the second tip I have is that you can wash and scrub all your produce before you consume it. So let's say you purchase things outside of the Clean 15 list, and there are some things on the Dirty Dozen. Make sure you're really washing them in warm water. I don't encourage you to use soap on the product. However, it would be important that you rinse it in warm water. You soak it in warm water and rinse prior to consuming. The third tip I have for you is, if you're purchasing non-organic produce from the Dirty Dozen list, purchase food with a peel and peel it. So removing that external layer actually removes a lot of the pesticide residue. So anything that you can peel or remove a peeling from is usually a safe bet when we talk about reducing the amount of pesticides that you are consuming or your family's consuming. Number 4 is, we can remove fat and trim visible fat from animal products. Oftentimes chemicals and things that are harmful for us to ingest are actually stored within fat tissue, and the same is for animals. So if we remove the fatty tissue, oftentimes we remove the toxic agent or the things that we do not want to consume on a regular basis. So trimming the fat is a really great way to reduce the amount of chemicals that we're ingesting. Number 5 is purchase food that is in season. So even if you're buying organic, if you purchase it when it's in season, it is considerably less expensive. So anything that is a root vegetable in the winter and the fall that's organic is going to cost way less. If you want to purchase spinach and strawberries in the wintertime as organic, it's definitely going to cost you. So shopping seasonally and eating seasonally will actually save you money if you are investing further in organic. Tip number 6 is with regards to packaged products. So as I said earlier, being a Canadian, I can relate to my Canadians in the audience that there isn't a stamp or a seal of approval that's put on a lot of these products that says it's certified 100% organic or that organic ingredients were used. So following the USDA stamp and label actually will help you as a consumer. So we actually have a lot of American products brought into our grocery retailers. So I would encourage you to actually trust that USDA stamp that says 100% organic, because we do have that agreement between governments. So in conclusion today, There are times that I definitely recommend people buy organic produce. If we're talking about eating the Dirty Dozen, 100%. Let's go for the organic, let's invest in it. However, if you're buying Clean 15 foods, then it's not as important. Purchasing foods that have appeal, eating seasonally, washing our foods, trimming visible fat, all those things really reduce the amount of toxin or pesticides, antibiotics that we're ingesting into our system. I do always recommend that most of my pregnant clients, anyone who's breastfeeding or has children, feeding children, and anyone who's immunocompromised, I definitely ask them to invest a little bit more in organic. So shopping and being aware is really, really important. So educating yourself on the Dirty Dozen, on the Clean 15, and comparing prices even between grocery stores will really empower you with your grocery list and keep you on your budget. Organic does not have to be expensive. It does not have to break the bank, and you can shop in a really smart way that's safe for you and your family. If you really enjoyed this topic and you want to hear more of topics like this, please sound off below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any ideas for future topics. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, Mark.